125th and Park has become a haven for Harlem's homeless. The area is home to multiple addiction treatment centers, shelters, and charities. The area has become a homeless social services center, although not official.
Sí, entonces, a él no le gusta que vuelva los chavos de él, pero tampoco.
The chronically homeless have found that they can survive on the streets and get the services they need from surrounding agencies. The street's homelessness population fluctuates between day and night. Every morning, busloads of men commute from Randall's Island. Randall's Island is home to many shelters, including the Keener Center, the Swartz Building, and Help USA. Only men are admitted.
They got all kind of people in there, like people that's handicapped and wheelchairs, one leg and stuff like that. People that are disabled, so it's a disabled placement shelter.
How did you end up here?
Well, I'm mental health. I suffer from my diagnosis is schizophrenia and depression.
Randall's Island is Ward's Island's conjoined twin. Ward's Island is home to pristine parks where people walk their dogs and play soccer. There are very few homeless men. Some are just down on their luck, some are mentally ill, disabled, while some battle with drug addictions, among other things. Almost all of them take the M35 to get off the island. Some go to look for work or see family and friends, while many just contribute to the chaos at 125th and Park. Daniel Sullivan, a resident at the Help USA Center, cites drug addiction and the recent popularity of the synthetic K2 as one of the issues perpetuating homelessness around 125th.
I don't know what the people's situation is. Maybe they can't get a job for whatever reason. Maybe they have legal issues or something. Maybe they just don't want to get a job. But when it comes down to it, a lot of them, the 125th in Lexington is the spot to go to when you have nothing to do. All day long, people smoking K2, breaking the law, ripping people off, trying to get money, trying to hustle, just doing illegal activities. That's why they got that police van there now. It's just to stop. There were people dying there. People smoking K2 and dying right on the block. And then the same people that were watching them die picked the same joint up and tried to smoke it. Like, it's just, it's drug infested. It's a drug addiction area.
Something happened over the last several decades whereby treatment centers were established for methadone, substance abuse of all kinds, HIV treatment, needle exchanges, halfway houses for ex-convicts. It became a place where, for one reason or another, the programs found a home, and it's created a problem for the residents and families who live here just by the sheer numbers. We're told by both city and state officials that there is no other community board out of the 60 community boards in Manhattan that has anywhere near the number of treatment slots, and it's just overwhelming to the community.
Ward's Island is a perfect example. You know, they have different means set up to help people, and they don't fulfill their promises and things like that. They just, sign this paper, you go to welfare, okay, welfare somewhat gives us a subsidy for you being here. And they don't go much beyond that. We give you a bed, okay, just make sure you sign in, or you'll lose this bed, or give it to somebody else. It's a means of just continue to receive subsidy.
Even for those with nothing, a ride on the M35 costs $2.75. But no one really pays the fare. During the Bloomberg administration, many homeless were arrested and jailed by undercover policemen for not being able to make fare and riding the bus anyway.
Bloomberg locked everybody up. It became a quality of life thing with him. Get them off the streets, lock them up. If they're sleeping in the subway, lock them up. If they're panhandling, lock them up. Everything became a quality of life. That's why homelessness was down when he was in office, because he locked everybody up. De Blasio, on the other hand, is not in favor of that quality of life thing. He's trying to make changes, so he claims, but it's still no difference.
Honestly, I got stopped last night by police, and they was just to bother you, harass. And as soon as I asked him for his badge number for harassing me, you want to go to jail? Now that's exactly what he told me.
I didn't experience anything with task force. They come and harass us, move away if we panhandling. They come and don't saying, try to give us summons and stuff like that. Police come and kick you, move you. No, you can't lay down here. No, say waiting for a bus, you're trying to get some shelter, or people come along in the van and try and help us out. Police harass us, maybe move away, and stuff like that.
I know if you sit down with a piece of cardboard under you, you can be harassed by police. And I think that's foul because, like I said, there are people with physical conditions that can't walk very far. If there's no benches and no places to sit down, then that's what they have to resort to doing. And now they're looked at as criminals. The police around here, this area, don't like me because I defend and I speak up for a lot of the people around here because I understand their struggle. That was me yesterday. This may be to them today, but this was me yesterday as far as sleeping in the streets. And police don't like the fact that, oh, get out of there, this has nothing to do with you. And I tell them it does. These are my brothers. These are my people. There's no difference between me and that man pushing a shopping cart.
According to Day, homelessness around 125th and Park is due in part to a forced immobility.
I think that it's a burden on any community to have 1,000 people, whether they were tourists, to be dropped on one corner all day and then picked up from that same corner at night. We have advocated as a community that the shelters on Wards Island, which are big facilities, incorporate more programs during the day. And we understand there's been money funded to do that, how quickly it'll happen and how attractive those programs will be or how effective. But there are computer labs there now that are unused. There's gyms that are unused.
Despite the new availability of certain services inside of shelters, many of the area's homeless elect to stay on the streets.
Now I'm coming to the realization of what I'm living around. I don't want to be around. Like, really, it makes me sick to my stomach. The facilities are not here to make people happy.
All these cluster site shelters, a lot of these shelters are very unsafe. Your life is threatened if you go to sleep with something that may have been handed down to you, but has a name brand logo on it. When you go to sleep, you're in fear of your life of, being beaten up, stabbed, cut, robbed, anything while you're sleeping, even while you're wide awake in these places. A lot of these places are run by gangs, cliques, and crews. If a security guard there, works there and somebody from their neighborhood comes in and is a part of that crew or even from their neighborhood, the security allows that person to do what he wants. And then that person becomes friends with others or, somebody he knows from the outside may come in and they continue to click up. So all they do is grow. And they set their own, what they call in-house rules. And it worsens the place. So people leave there with the little people, they do have, or the little friends they may have there, and they resort to the street, and they build their own family there. They look at it as, I'd rather rest my head on a familiar block that I know I'm safe, with friends and family that are in the same situation with me, than live in this cluster site shelter like we're a bunch of cattle. And our safety is not even guaranteed when we go to the bathroom or when we go to the water fountain.
Without the help of the MTA, most of the city's homeless are confined to areas in close proximity to 125th and Park.
Of course, it's ridiculous. The City Homeless Services Agency should fund buses to go to the Bronx and Queens and Brooklyn and wherever people's families or appointments are. Their theory is that if they take the shortest route, which is to 125th, there is a tri-modal hub here, there's Metro North, and there's subways and buses, and that people could get to the Bronx or Brooklyn. We're constituents too, and we live here, and the MTA says to us, you're not our constituent. The only constituent for us is the person riding the bus.
Local businesses and church organizations try to help where the government is lacking.
Everybody should be treated equal. You understand? They come in here and they tell me they're hungry, I'll be more than welcome to feed them. We have enough food to feed the whole block. You understand? But they don't get that point. They're so used to stealing, robbing, fighting for what they need, and it doesn't have to be like that. If they received the help that they really need, we wouldn't have this much issues.
I'm a firm believer that you cannot solve a problem as major as homelessness or mental health issues or, drug abuse with one entity. It's never going to be done simply by an elected official, an individual. It's never going to be done by an administration. It takes the community to heal the community. So I think with the partnership, and we've experienced it here, the partnership between government officials and community organizations, whether they be faith-based community organizations or even just community partnerships, come together to heal the community. So we do our programs, but we get grants from government officials. They have ideas and they may have resources, but they still have to go through someone's hands. The mayor can't be the mayor and stand on 125th Street and hand out lunch.
Residents seem to feel like homelessness in the area is getting out of control.
Some of them are not really into drugs or like that. They just come from a family that they never have that support of talking to them and telling them, listen, this is the right way, and you have to finish school, guiding them, giving them the guidance. Some of the homeless are very intelligent. They just have, they come from a bad background.
It's like nursing an elderly person. Your benefits come as you help this person get better or get comfortable. As a person who's dealt with the elderly, it pains me to see even elderly homeless people out here pushing shopping carts full of cans to hopefully get money. Because if they go to shelter, honestly, they're probably going to get jacked or robbed or beaten or killed just because of what they have.